Welcome back to the Selling with Love podcast. Very excited to have everybody come back and talk about one of the key fears that often comes up whenever I ask the questions about, what are some of the reasons that hold you back from selling? What are some of the things that come up as maybe a fear or an anxiety or something that you definitely not want to be labeled as when you're going out there, possibly reaching to potential clients or prospects and wanting to do business with them, offer a solution to their problems and make that sale, is this whole concept of being perceived as annoying. We all have an image of what a telemarketer can sound like, look like. We're having dinner conversations, and so many times we've seen our parents perhaps behave when the phone rings in the middle of your dinner conversations and you pick it up, only to realize that it's not indeed a friend or a family member, but it is that telemarketer try to sell you maybe a trip to the Caribbean that you never asked for, or perhaps you're trying to get a new insurance that you hadn't even had on the top of your mind. And so here we are, maybe a few years later, or maybe just a week after that event happened for you, and you're put into a role that you need to sell. Now, I'm not saying that I'm here to encourage everybody to do cold telemarketing calls. What I am going to suggest, though, is that we have over-amplified and over-corrected when it comes to our fear, when it comes to annoying other people, and having that resistance when it comes to selling, because we don't want to be like them. I speak extensively about this as to why we hate sales so much in my book, Selling with Love. But here I just want to kind of charge out, take out all the negativity we might have around reaching out, because the biggest thing I see people have issues with and that holds them back from their success is not reaching out enough. Being afraid of annoying the other person holds you back from writing that email. Oh, I don't want to send an email. We're going to disturb the people. They're going to unsubscribe. I don't even know what to write, and it'll just be a promotional email. Who wants to read that anyways? And I have to share a short story because for me, it's something that I had to get over my own fear of rejection. And I've realized that most of the times when I'm asking questions that starts around my fears or my hesitations, it means that I'm not actually focused on the person I'm trying to serve. I'm more focused on my own anxieties, right? And so you have to ask yourself the question, if you're out there selling with the intention to serve, to provide value, are the questions and anxieties that are on your mind more focused around your own discomforts, or are they more focused around what this person potentially is living with, the problems they might have that you could genuinely solve with your product, that the unawareness of them knowing that a solution exists out there makes them live day in and day out with this problem, never fixing it? See, make a quick audit as to where your mind is focused, because if it's very me-centric or I-centric, then you know that you might have your attention in the wrong place and your needs are taking advantage or becoming a priority over the solving of the problems for the people you serve. So ask this as a first test. And once you do this, you start realizing that, how many times do you receive an email and it's just an email to a newsletter you subscribe to and you don't open it because it's just not your priority right now. See, when we're on the sending side of an email or the calling side of a phone call, we think that the person will see our email, take time aside from their busy day, completely read your email, and then when they realize it's not the perfect words or the perfect offer, they'll be like, how dare this person disturb me and, completely ruin my day because they didn't pay attention enough to know that I really wanted to receive this email or not. And obviously I'm over-exaggerating this to make a point, which is we're so busy that we often just ignore the things that aren't pressing right now. We're in a world where there's so many things coming our way. We just can't be paying full attention to everything that comes our way. But when our need is there, and when we get to actually find ourselves maybe becoming top of mind several times, we actually become the solution they might seek out for when it is needed. And most of us might have problems in our lives that we're not prioritizing to solve now. And the fact that we're not reaching out or attempting to make communications, attempting to understand the client better, attempting to make them understand how we can solve their problems means that they don't get the opportunity to make it a priority and realize that it might not be as expensive as they expected. It might not be as time consuming as they expected. And whenever that time is right, you want to be the first person they think about. So I was working through a campaign because I love getting back on the telephones and doing things to kind of keep myself sharp as a salesperson. There's that quote that says, those who don't do, teach. And I don't want to be one of those teachers that forgets the doing. And so I had 50 leads I had to close, and I was working on the telephones. And I love doing this. And what I realized is there was one individual. I called them once, we had a conversation, and they said, oh, we'll make a decision, in the next couple of days. So then a couple of days come by and we jump back on the phone. And they were like, oh, I don't think I want to do this. And I'm like, I explain all the options. They're like, okay, well, maybe we'll consider it. And they said, I'll give you an answer in 24 hours. And then 24 hours later, they don't give me an answer. I'd sent them an email. I follow up with an email. I say, hey, I haven't heard an answer. And there's two mindsets I could have had here, saying, oh my God, they must be trying to ignore me. They don't want to talk to me. And then I don't want to send another email because I'm probably annoying them. But I try to call, no answer. I send a text message, no answer. I send a follow-up email, no answer. And then I send another text message. And then finally, they actually say, oh, I haven't gotten around to looking into it, but I'm not too sure I want to decide. This was around Thanksgiving. So I said, well, why don't we reconnect on Monday? Monday comes, I try to call, no answer. I call again. Now, mind you, this person must be thinking I'm annoying them. And if I would have had that hesitation in my mind to think that I'm annoying and I should stop, meant that I was more focused again on my own mindset than trying to solve their problems. So what happened is my mindset was saying, I know this person is going to get so much value developing the skill sets of the program that I was selling to them, which was really about developing skills for doing strategic intervention coaching. So helping people change beliefs and really get into an empowered state. Beautiful program. And I knew a person like her after I discovered enough in our first conversation that she would absolutely benefit from this program so much more than what I asked her to pay for it. And so as such, I knew this exchange needed to happen. I was thinking in my head, I need to reach her because this campaign expires today. I need to speak to her before it expires or else she's going to lose out on $1,500 of discounts for a program that I know she's going to get so much value of. So I keep calling and finally we do get connected. And as such, we have this conversation and person starts thinking, you know what? We had a chance to think about it, myself, my husband, and she decided to move forward with the program. And so here we go. A sale was completed. And I ended up reaching out to this person like at least 6 times, 7 times. And what we might not realize is that it usually takes up to 7 touch points for a conversion to happen. Whether that's them receiving an email, phone call, text message, an ad that you might be running, or a post on social media. And whenever we feel like, oh, we might be too annoying with repeating the same message on multiple mediums, remember that you're the one who's so fully attentive to your own messages and nobody's actually giving you that full amount of attention as much as the attention that you put into everything you put out there. And so if you are feeling this kind of anxiety, know that you're more focused in your own mind. Think more about a person that might be so busy and you need to try to reach them in as many ways as possible. If it's a fit, it's a fit. And if they are looking for that solution and you have the product that can solve it, then at least by coming, showing up, sending the communications, getting in touch, spending time with them, if it's a phone conversation, to understand how you're going to truly help them is going to put you in the best position to solve that problem for them when the time is right. See, not all sales happen in the first call. There's always a ton of people that need to decide longer. And as long as you're always sharing, caring, and showing up for them consistently, you'll be making more sales, 1 call, 1 email, 1 text message, or 1 social post at a time. So I want to just leave you with some positive thoughts out there. Don't let your fear and anxiety around being annoying hold you back from making the impact you want to make. Go out there, reach out to the people who need you and think more from their point of view that they are busy individuals and you're just out there making sure that they're aware that you can solve some real problems. And by doing so, you'll have so much more success. You'll have so much more people that are going to be within your sphere of influence that you'll be able to transact with, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe in the future. But regardless of how you decide to sell, make sure that at least you always go from a place of love.